friend.
Hey, how's it going, man? Is
Hello
it
from
is
Ukraine, Fidel.
from Ukraine? Nice to meet you. Is it Andriy? How do you pronounce your name?
Andriy,
Andriy? Oh, okay, nice to meet you, man.
nice.
Fidel. My name's Fidel. Nice to officially meet you live, at least, not in person, but live.
Oh, nice to meet you too. Uh, Fidel, it's real pleasure to meet you. Thank you for taking the time to be here today. I've been looking forward to this conversation because your story is
Yeah.
clearly one of discipline, resilience, and heart. Um, Fidel,
Yes.
what? And first question. When
Yeah.
did you first fall in love with boxing?
So I would say I have been in love with boxing, at least like the sport itself, since I was probably maybe like 15. So I would say around 2015, around there. I didn't start boxing till later though, just because here in the US it's really expensive to like go into a gym, get coaches, get like a one-on-one, everything like that. So I took a different path at the time, but I've always been in love with boxing since I was about 15 years old. Just the it kind of runs in the family of just the sport itself, you know.
Every athlete has a moment that change everything. Sometimes one memory stays forever. Let's go back there. What was your very first memory of stepping into a boxing gym?
So my very first memory was I want to say right after like during the time where COVID was a thing around 2021. I went over to the gym. They had just opened up again because they were shut down because of the virus going around. And I remember, you know, real vividly. It was probably around like nighttime. I remember just walking into the gym. Hey, I'm brand new, a little nervous. I was thinking already like they're gonna throw me into spar, but no, it was a good gym. DG Boxing, I still go there actually. And yeah, it was a different vibe. You just feel the family oriented vibe. Everybody's so inviting. And yeah, that was the very first moment I could really remember, just getting there and just that nervousness, but walking in with the right people in there.
What kind of child were you growing up?
Uh, you said what kind of what was the question again? Sorry.
Uh, what kind of child were you growing up?
Okay, so I was a really quiet kid. I was more to myself. I wasn't really one of those outgoing kids. So, you know, growing up, it was just more of me getting with one or two people, a small friend group, and just honestly, not a lot when I was a kid. I didn't really put myself out there as much as I would want to, looking back. But yeah, I was a really how do you say introverted kid.
Behind every strong athlete, there is often strong support. Family can be everything. How
Yes.
important was your family in your early boxing journey?
Really important, very important. Just because I mean they're there from the start. Family's always there. I grew up around two-parent household, so I had my mom and dad, and they were able to like take me as far as they could, and from there I just started the journey, and they've been supportive ever since. They go to my fights that they're able to. They support me even when I'm fighting out of state and they're not able to make it. I'm always getting the love and the support that we should get as children, from your parents and even from the rest of them. I have siblings too. They're always supportive. They just want to see me win. But I do have confidence because my family is always there supporting me.
Fidel,
Yeah.
Starting young is never easy. It takes courage to keep going. What was the hardest part about training when you were younger?
Um, well, I would say so. I actually, well, I trained when I was younger, but when I really took that step forward and I became boxing only, um, was when I was already around like 20, 21. Before that, I was actually playing football, like American football. So I come from that sport. Just training, even when I was younger, like even whatever it is, football, boxing, I always pull for full effort. Like every single rep counts, every single round, every single minute in training. That's always pushed me forward because I always think if I don't work today, later on is going to catch up to me. Like whether it's in a tough fight, whatever the scenario is. But yeah, I mean the it just starting young and you kind of just have to learn because a lot of people they make a mistake or they fail and then it's just automatically hey like their world shuts down. But for me, I'm okay losing. I'm okay failing because I know that from there it's another step forward.
Today, I am honored to speak with someone whose journey in boxing reflects years of sacrifices, focus, and determination. From building himself as a fighter from a young age to becoming a three-time blue and gold champion, a two-time regional Golden Gloves champion, a California State Golden
Yeah.
Gloves champion, and now a national champion in 2025. You are a very cool boxer. I respect you. Uh,
Yeah.
and
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you.
your discipline is the best. Discipline is built day by day. Greatness comes from routine. What habits helped you become mentally strong?
hmm Habits, well, for me is schedule. Like make your schedule. Like know what you're gonna do the day before. You should know what you're doing the next day. I feel like when you build those habits of having a routine, it helps with discipline because you're not following a plan blindly. You know what you're gonna do. You know what you expect from it. So I would say one big thing for the habits is just try to, you don't have to write it down, but at least know, hey, this is what I got going for my week. And then aside from that, just putting yourself around the right people. I know that's how you can create habits. You are who you hang out with. So I have really great coaches. I have my coach David, who's really great. I have Eddie. I think you interviewed Eddie De La Huerta. I mean, he's all about discipline. So you are who you hang out with, and I feel like my habits are, getting better as I continue to grow with the right people around me. But yeah, for sure, make a plan. Like anybody who wants to actually compete and take it serious, you have to have a plan. You can't go in and just train for no reason.
You have great achievements. Few people can achieve this. This is unbelievable. By every boxer remembers his first fight. That moment stays forever.
Yeah.
What do you remember most about your first amateur fight?
Oh man, it's hard to remember fights, I'll tell you that, because all the adrenaline, you know how it goes. But from what I remember for sure was going in, getting to the weigh-ins because it was my first fight. I didn't know what to expect. I was kind of just going off of my coach. Like he was like, go over there, go get the paperwork, go weigh in, and then we'll see if we have a fight for you. And we did that day first show, and I do remember that I won my fight. But I remember the most is man how tired you feel after. You're like, man, this is like I trained 2 hours like nothing, and then I'm here fighting, amateur rounds, 3 rounds, like. But I do remember that where I just had to dig deep and tell myself, hey, I worked hard for this. Like, I'm not losing or like. I'm not giving up on myself. So that was the like the most that I can remember from that fight.
Wins are special, but losses can be teach even more. Growth often comes through struggle. What was your first big lesson in boxing?
First big lesson I would say is when I actually went fought the nationals. I had fought national Golden Glove nationals. I was fighting the number one guy in the nation at the time. And I just didn't feel I felt good. I had an injury that was lingering, and that's all I was thinking about. So that's one big lesson I learned is knowing how to just zone out all the negativity, anything that's holding you back, and to just go forward. Because at the end of the day, I put up a tough fight, but I know myself I could have done better. Just not thinking about, oh, I'm hurt from this, I'm hurt from this. Like there's gonna be struggles in anything, Not you're never gonna be 100% in a fight. There's always something like, hey, my leg's a little sore, my calf, whatever the case is. But that was one of my big lessons right there. Like just trusting myself.
Did you ever have moments when you wanted to quit, to leave boxing?
Um, Definitely I would say one time just because how, life gets hard. There's there's bills, there's, when you reach that adult stage, you get to the different mentality of like, now I have to provide, now I have to start something. But I would say that what made me continue was, like I said, the people around me, they're supporting me. And I have a great fiance who tells me like, "Hey, you can't give up on yourself." She really believes in me sometimes more than I do, and I think that's something that I have overcome. And definitely now I'm not looking back. I'm not looking to quit because I know who I am and I know what I can do with the gifts that were given to me by God. But yeah, I definitely have thought of that before, and I feel like it comes across every fighter's mind, like, oh, when I might want to quit this or whatever. It's not for me, but uh, it just shows who you are yourself. If I'm gonna quit this, I'm gonna quit other things. So that's one of my mentalities. Like I have to keep pushing, and that's where we're talking about discipline. Like keeps me in check.
You are a real champion.
Right.
Champions
Thank you.
are built in difficult moments. Pressure creates character. What kept you going during the toughest times?
Just honestly, like it's hard to tell you exactly what it was because it's more of something that is in you. Like you should just feel it. Like you don't want to fail because you're gonna let yourself down. And that was one thing that I've been learning as I go. It's like, hey, it's not about letting other people down. It's you let yourself down. And that's the worst thing because you get regret, and regret is something you can't take back. You live with that for the rest of your life. And I've been told by people who have boxed before, they always say, I regret this. I regret not doing this or not taking a risk. And for me, that's one of the things. Is just you have to just push yourself because you want to see yourself win. It's not about it's not about money, it's not about cars, or it's not about attention. It's like this is for you to be better for yourself. Like the boxing is not personal. Like we fight, and then afterwards, we're cool with each other. Hey, like good fight, whatever. But it's more of a battle with yourself. That's really what I believe in.
Every fighter develops its own identity. Style is part instinct, part experience. How would you describe your boxing style? Do you have Mexican or American style?
Honestly, I have a little bit of both. I mean, I have the aggression, Mexican style aggression, but I do really like to use more of the American style defensively, just because it just fits me as my like the way that I come forward. I'm a come forward pressure fighter, so that's where the Mexican is. But defensively, I can switch it up and like I can brawl, but I could also box from the outside. So I would say a little bit of both, honestly.
Your boxing style is amazing. I really appreciate your time for this interview. Then I wanna listen about your strengths. Some athletes are naturally aggressive, others
Yeah.
are strategic. Great fighters combine both. What do you think is your biggest strength in the ring?
And the ring, my biggest strength, I do feel like it's my IQ for sure. Just knowing where I'm at. IQ always number one. Uh, but also I would say it's a mental thing. When you're in there and you're fighting somebody who's gonna be stronger than you sometimes, or they might be faster. There's always an advantage and disadvantage. Like I believe in that. You're like as hard as you work, somebody out there could probably be better than you. But at the end of it, it just comes down to my will. Like I'm not gonna give up in there. So like if somebody's gonna be in there to brawl with me toe to toe, it's gonna be a good one. That's one thing too. A lot of people that watch my fights always say, "Hey man, like that was the hell of a fight, win or lose," just because I'm there to perform. But that's for me, that's one of my strengths is just knowing where I'm at, IQ, and obviously like my willingness to not give up.
By the way, when did you first feel that boxing could become something serious for you?
I knew right after my first year. I just knew because I was going through the processes quick. I was going out fighting already. I was advancing through a lot of things that usually takes people some time. Um, and people would ask me, "Oh, like, have you been boxing for like, 5 years or something?" And I was always like, "No, I've been only boxing for like a year." And that kind of told me like, "Hey, I'm actually good, and I just have to push myself to get better and continue growing into the sport." But yeah, I knew right away, right when I sparred the first time, honestly, I was like, I like this. I immediately fell in love with the competition of it.
Success in boxing is not only physical. Recovery and mindset are essential. How do you prepare mentally before a big fight?
So I like listening to music. I like being calm, listening to music, and honestly, the biggest thing for me since I've continued to progress in the sport is don't think about it too much. That's like when I first started, I was already thinking like, oh, what am I gonna do here? What am I gonna do? Like just overthinking, over planning. And at the end of the day, it's the more relaxed fighter is always going to be in a better position. That's how I feel. Even when I fight, like now I'm more relaxed in my sparrings, my fighting, anything. I'm just a little bit more relaxed, and I do think that for me, the relaxation of myself before a fight has helped me perform better. That's definitely something I do recommend people like try to figure out something where you're either like uh, spiritually falling asleep or like me listening to music, something like that.
What kind of music do you like to listen?
Oh man, I have a huge range of music, but I'll give you like my top three. So
Top
for
3.
fights, yeah, for
Oh,
fights, I like corridos, so like Mexican music. I like also aside from corridos, I like Vicente Fernandez. He's an artist, Mexican artist. And then lastly, some type of rock. You know, some type of rock that right before the fight just gets you pumped. Uh, but those are my top three different, I would say, genres to listen to.
oh. Mexican music is amazing.
Get you pumped up, huh? Like it's fight time.
People often see medals, but not the work behind them. The process matters most. What does a normal training day look like for you?
So for me, I like going on a run in the morning. uh, getting that through just to get my legs warm. And then, I go to work, just my regular day job. And then from there, I go to the gym. And first things first, you always got to stretch. That's one thing I learned through this whole process is injuries come from stuff like not stretching or not preparing right. And you can avoid that by stretching beforehand. I always like to do my jump rope, get my legs warm. And then after that, a lot of shadow boxing. I know a lot of people they shadow box 3, 4 rounds and think they're good to go. Like, no, you have to do more than six. I like doing more than six for sure. And then after that, that's when I start working on head movement, which is another thing that people avoid. Everybody wants to hit the bags, but usually I do a lot of head movement. And then once about 45 minutes or an hour have passed already, I'm warm, I'm nice and loose, and then now the rest of it, I do some bag drills, mid work with my coach, and then always got to hit the abs. Always, anytime you're at the gym, you got to hit the abs. And then to cool down, like I said, you have to finish with stretching as well. So I would say usually around 2 to 2.5 hours of a gym session for me. That'll be my daily routine.
Fear is natural, even for champions. The difference is how you handle it. Do you still feel nervous before fights?
For sure, it's normal. Um, it's always normal to feel nervous. I still do, and some fights I do, some fights I don't. That's why it's kind of like a toss up. It's more of a mental thing for me. But I always break through because once I'm in there, and then I get the feel of the first punch or the first movement, I zone everything out. Like my head goes straight to just focus, boxing, only listen to my coach. But being nervous is normal. I still do get nervous. I feel like it's more of a thing yourself you have to break. So I do it myself. Like, hey, I'm nervous, but I'm not scared. If that makes sense. I'm not doubting myself either. It's a normal feeling. Once you come to realize like, hey, it's okay being nervous, you can overcome it. That's one big thing I started to realize early in my boxing career.
Preparation creates confidence. Details matter at the highest level. What part of training day do you enjoy the most?
Ooh, what part of the training day?
Yeah.
I honestly I enjoy it's gonna sound a little bit different than probably usual, but I enjoy the shadow boxing. Like it's something where like you get to yourself, like you're in your own state, your own flow, and that's how you know when you properly shadow box is when you can actually learn as you're doing it, and that's something I really enjoy. Like I can shadow box for like 10 rounds, 12 rounds. It's for me, it's something that just it's fun. You could do anywhere. But aside from that, I also do enjoy my running. That feel you get after. So I would say those are the things that I really do look forward to when I train.
The main thing is not to miss training.
Yeah, exactly. No missed trainings.
Every athlete has part of training they struggle with. That's what builds toughness. What part of training challenges you the most?
For me, I would say, let's see. I mean, boxing is challenging in itself, but I would say the harder part is finding out how to hit the bag where makes sense. Like people hit the bag just to hit the bag, but I started to incorporate more of a like a foundation of how I'm gonna hit the bag. I do certain drills. My coach helps me out to figure out how to work on something specific. So I would say that's the hard part of knowing what you're doing with the bag. So I'm still learning how to like effectively hit the bag the proper way as if you were in a fight. but also in the best way where you're preventing injuries. How injuries happen sometimes, you hit too hard or you're doing too much when you should just be going through the flow, like I said. But for sure, that's one thing I'm still working on myself. Better at the bag.
The hardest thing is to wake up from the bed.
Yeah, exactly. That's the hardest thing.
Sacrifice is a huge part of greatness. People often don't see that side. What have you sacrificed the most for boxing?
Uh, I mean, I sacrifice time. You know, time is valuable. It could be time with friends, sometimes with my fiance. You know, she wants to hang out with me, and I do as well. But she understands that I have to go train sometimes where it can be inconvenient for us. But she's pushing me, and she's willing to accept the sacrifice I make. But most definitely, just the time. You know, time. Boxing takes time. Like when you train, you know, 2 hours, 2.5 hours, it doesn't sound like much, but you got to think about the drive there. You got to think about you get some traffic. I'm like in the LA County area, so you know traffic is heavy over here, and, and then you got to think about the way back. It's always just a matter of time. That's really what I sacrifice the most. My body, I mean, um, I come from my football, so I sacrifice my body there. I can continue doing that now. But yeah, time is an asset, the biggest asset, and I feel like that's what I sacrifice the most.
By the way, do you like to watch soccer?
Oh yeah, man, I watched soccer since I was a kid. Like I love soccer. Like the World Cup's coming up. I'm excited for that.
What is your favorite football team?
Okay, so I have two two favorite football teams. First one is Chivas in the Mexican League, and then second is Real Madrid.
Wow.
Yeah. How about yourself? You watch soccer too?
Yes,
Yeah.
Barca. Barcelona
Barca?
is my favorite team.
Oh man, it's okay. You're the only Barca fan that I like.
Great, great derby. Great.
Yeah, no, definitely the best matches, Barca and Real Madrid.
No. Your favorite football player is Cristiano Ronaldo, or maybe Ronaldo Nazario, Zinedine Zidane.
I really liked Zidane. That was one of the guys I really liked when I was watching it back in my younger days. But Cristiano was the big part in my when I was a child, like my youth. So he's one of them as well, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yes, Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, they are the greatness.
Yeah, their greatness up here. Like everybody else is down here.
Yes,
They're at the top.
yes. Also, we continue. Your achievements speak for themselves, but every title has a story. What did winning your first major title mean to you?
It meant a lot because like you know we put a lot of time into the gym. We prepare and we have expectations. Like we want to win. We're not there to lose. We're not there to just show up. So for sure, my thing was my first one. It was big for me. And not only that, I had to fight like four or three or four, yeah, like three or four times that same weekend because it was a tournament. So yeah, just putting a lot on my body, but overall that made it feel even greater when I won because it feels like the hard work paid off, you know, the results came in.
Tell me, please, about your first title. How did your first championship change you?
So my first one, my first championship changed me because it put me in a mentality of like hey, I'm good. I'm actually able to compete with these guys. Once I became open as an open fighter in the amateurs, that was when I won the Golden Gloves. Uh, that one was my major first title where I felt like I took a big step forward because I was fighting guys who have more experience. I fight in the heavyweight division right now, and I'm only like 220 pounds. I'm fighting guys who are much bigger than me, so usually that could mean they're stronger than me. But through all of that, I still came through and won my championship that day. And I feel like that changed me for like going forward, just because it gave me the confidence, like, hey, I am good enough. And when you have confidence and you have the skills, I mean, your results and everything will show up. Hard work and discipline always pays off.
You did a great job. Winning once is difficult. Winning multiple times is a thing of consistency. Consistency.
Yeah.
What helped you become a three-time blue and gold champion?
Um, you said when or how? Sorry, the question. What was the question again?
What helped you become a
Yeah.
three-time blue and gold champion?
So I mean, I could say hard work, but a lot of people work hard. For me, I really think it was like I said, it's always a mental thing. Like psychology is something I really believe in, um, especially when you put the work in. Because if you put hard work in, the reality usually is you get paid back from the hard work you put in. So for me, it was just a mentality thing. Every time I fight, I know that I trust myself. I trust my preparation, and not only that, but I do have good skills. I have power. Like I do believe that I have one of the best right hands. So uh, that's one thing I trust in myself. But also, like we were talking earlier, my IQ. I know how to get out of situations. My coach always says, even when things are looking shaky, always find a way to get out. And it's one thing that for me is important. Just knowing what to do in a spot, and that's me what really helped me the multiple times championships was that mentality. Like, for I know what to do. Don't worry about the outcome. Just get to work.
Consistency is one of the hardest things in sports. Staying hungry matters. How did you stay motivated after each success?
Uh, well, see, it's me. I don't like losing. That's one thing for competitive. I'm competitive, and really what pushes me forward is I want to see the best version. I always think there's more. There's more room to get better. There's like to me, I don't think I'll ever be satisfied with anything I do, as in like that's what keeps me going. And I feel like that's something that in my fights, like when it looks like it's getting tough and it looks like I might be losing, I always go way back in just because that's just who I am. I'm a person, and I believe that there's always better in me.
Regional titles require serious work. They prove your level. What did winning the regional Golden Gloves teach you?
Well, first they told me that I'm the best in California, so that was one big thing, like I reached a milestone there. But also just fighting those regionals, it showed me a different style, and it showed me that the match could matter. At the end of the day, it's the person that's in there. Uh, and for me, that one thing is, like I said, I never give up. Just find a way to win, even when it gets tough. It doesn't matter to me. Yeah, those regionals taught me that there's much more improvement and way more ahead of me.
Winning twice at that level is special. It shows true dedication. What was different between your first and second regional Golden Gloves title?
I, well, aside from being a better fighter the second time around, I would say my preparation. At first, I was more of it was to like a very hard fight. Like the nervousness that came around me. The second time around, I felt like hey, this is kind of just like sparring. Like, why do I need to be nervous for this? First one to my second one helped me perform better. It helped me let my hand go, trusting myself. But, that was just seeing differently. Like, hey, I do this all the time. Why would I be nervous? Me from my first to my second, and for anything that's coming down the line, seeing, what I do, and it's just another spark. And that's what I tell myself.
State championships are another level of pressure. The competition is stronger. How special was becoming California State Golden Gloves champion?
It was special. It felt great. Like I really dedicated that to my family and my my coaches supported me, but especially for one of my first that I walked into the gym with, Gonzalez. He told me about a story of his brother who passed away, wanting to see his fighter succeed, and I knew that hey, this one's gonna be for her to succeed, even though I was never able to know that the support me is because like coaches care. They're there for a reason. Um, if you can trust your coach, you can do anything. Honestly, they're gonna be there to push you. And for me, that the first state title was for that.
Wow. Tell me please about your first coach.
My first coach, he's still with me. Yeah, he said that the first time I walked into the gym, he knew I was gonna be special. Um, but he kind of was letting me continue to come. He didn't want to approach me yet. He wanted to see if I did have it in me. And he saw me come. I he, to take me out to fight already before I even talked to him about it. Just because he saw who I really, how my talent spoke for itself and my mentality. I feel like for me, I don't fight to show up or anything. Fight because I'm doing impression from him. He likes how I'm calm. I'm very calm, and I'm there for business for him. But yeah, he's definitely one that's been supportive of him since the start. And you can tell when a coach is because they won't make anything off of you.
Big titles come with big emotions. Moments like that stay forever. What was going through your mind after that state title win?
Oh, I mean, the emotions, it felt great. It felt like a relief because it's working and you do have experience. Like, hey, I work so hard. I want the results. So when you get that pressure off your shoulders, it feels great. Just knowing you already did it, you feel like you're on top of the world. Uh, but for me, the moment was special because of everybody was there that supported me from the start. See, even some friends in the gym that have known me for years, my family, where it was a very time for me.
National success is the dream for many fighters. Few achieve it. What did becoming national champion in 2025 mean to you personally?
For me, it meant a lot to me. It meant a lot because my skills and what I work hard for, why we sacrifice the time. And I was really eager that fight. I wasn't nervous. I was anxious. I was like, let me go out there already. Let me fight. It was kind of like I felt like I wanted to fight that day. I was ready. And then when I got in there, it shows. I mean, I just performed well, and it meant a lot to me personally because winning a national championship, that's every fighter's dream. That's what we do. That's why we compete. You want to win. Winning fights is nice, but when you win that medal and or the belt, in a tournament like that at that stage, it just feels like you accomplished something even greater than any regular fight.
That kind of achievements reflects year of unseen effort. It's never overnight. Tell us about your the biggest moment in your career. Did that national title feel like the biggest moment of your career so far?
Uh, I would say so far, I would say it is at least my competition, yeah. But just what my future holds is going to be even greater, and I do envision because I feel great about that win, but I already on the next like I'm always continuously looking for the next step, the next big move for me. So to the pro game gonna be where I can skill set.
Every champion remembers key fights. Some shape your legacy. Which fight in your career changed you the most?
I would say the my third fight. So I went in fighting a guy with a lot of experience. I was brand new still. I was not even a year into boxing, and I performed well for one round, but I didn't get the results that I wanted. And from that point, I always told myself that no matter what, even if I'm prepared or not, I'm gonna go in there and fight like it's my last. And that really changed how I fight because uh, sometimes you can underestimate your opponents. Sometimes you can overestimate your opponents. You can think they're better than they really are. But at the end of the day, having the set plan and just trusting yourself, your skills, your IQ, I feel like that certain loss changed the fight. It changed everything. Just the way I can approach a fight now.
Who has been your toughest opponent so far? Maybe Gilbert Kabamba, maybe Aaron Guzman.
I would say my toughest fight was probably the third one that I had. Like I said, I was still a little bit newer, so I'm not sure how on if it was the me from now with more experience, but a guy with Hernandez, Rudy, really good boxer. He's a pro boxer now. I keep in touch with him. He's a cool, good guy. But for my toughest fight because it introduced me to something new. Like, hey, there's gonna be people who are stronger, more experienced. But at the end of the day, it pushed from that forward. I feel like no fight has been me. It just everything myself. If I let myself, that's why the results show. But that third fight I had was game changing for me. A tough fight.
Losses and setbacks often reveal our true strengths. Those moments career. How do you deal with disappointment after a difficult fight?
Well, honestly, a lot of it is just falling on back to the support. When you have good people who believe in you, they can push you even when things are tough. When losses come, when failure be hard sometimes. You know, you get into your own head and tell yourself, "Hey, am I really good at this?" Or uh, the people around you. And a big part for me is my fiance. She's been great. She's supported me even when I lose, and she like it's one thing that very helpful for me was support. So yeah, I would say if you have a person out there who roots for you and wants to see you succeed, even when you lose, they'll be there. So that's one thing that I stick with.
Resilience is one of the most important qualities in boxing. It defines champions. What has boxing taught you about pain and resilience?
Oh man, I mean, yeah, It's a lot
Difficult,
because
difficult
it's
question,
it's
I
sometimes
know.
it's hard. Yeah, no, no, it's something that's figure out as you go. You know, you don't think about it. Sometimes you're in there boxing and then you get hit with something. You're like, oh, that kind of hurt. You know, but that adrenaline has you continue going. I would say the hard part is not during the thing. The hard part is after. So like when you get out and you just had a really good sparring session or a good even the after effects. You know, you have bruising or you have um whatever it could be, bruised knuckles. I feel like that's the harder part. To me, fight, I not that I remember. Yeah, I've never been hurt, so for me, it's always the after effects of the fights, like my soreness or any little injury. Sometimes a little bit injuries. That's one thing. Know when I'm injured and know when to recover. Yeah, for sure. The hard parts are the aspects of boxing. You know, the cuts, the bruises, uh, things that people don't really do because they only look at the fight. But for me, the hardest thing is definitely after effects of the boxing.
Many young fighters look up to champions like you. Your mindset matters. What advice would you give to young boxer starting out?
Is you got to find the right people, coaches that are gonna fit your. You cannot teach something to somebody that you taught somebody else. It was not the same. Just as that I can't teach a Mexican style fighter to fight Soviet style. It's like it won't work well. But aside from that, I would say, man, like for a young fighter out there, your discipline is going to be the main thing. Knowing that you have to schedule yourself to the time and to really know that you're going to show up because a lot of times young boxers with skills and talent about it is they don't show up. And on top of that, the hard work you put to the gym. I don't really believe in working hard. Hard work pays off. It'll show the results. But for me, it's just show up, consistent. Don't take long breaks. Um, try to get into the gym, even if it's something small. But as long as you're there, you have a chance to get better.
You mentioned the Soviet style. In your opinion, who is the best Soviet style boxer?
Oh man, I like Bivol. I
Yeah.
just like Bivol. He's just his flow. He flows so great. He's for sure, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of great, but in my opinion, I would say Bivol.
Yes, I agree with you. Dmitry Bivol, the best boxer in Soviet style. Role models
Yeah,
are
really well.
important in every journey. Inspiration can change a life. Who were your boxing idols growing up?
Oh man, I like Manuel Marquez. I don't know if you remember him. He was man, he was tough. I grew up like in kind of later stages of Canelo's career. Um, and aside from them, I mean, just one of the greats, Julio Cesar Chavez.
Oh, I liked how Juan Manuel Marquez won Pacquiao by knockout.
He was planning it too. So I guess he's tough. That Mexican style that just fought beautiful.
Triple G is one of my favorite boxer. Canelo is your idol. What do you think about trilogy Canelo Triple G?
Well, I enjoyed it. I was a Canelo fan, watching the trilogy. Looking back now, I always like I might be controversial for this, but I think Triple G won the fight. Not being biased, not being all because of kind of a fan or whatever. Like Triple G he was one of the best at that time, and I do think that great. A lot of I Triple G won the fight. Not lie, he won the first one, second one, the draw, third one. I give that one to Canelo.
Yes, I liked that the trilogy ended in peace. I love boxing for respect.
Yeah, exactly. All respect and love at the end of the day.
Pressure can either break you or sharpen you. Champions learn to us it. How do you handle expectations from others?
I would take it more to heart. Like I would want to do great, show that I'm able to in regards to others, to show the supporters, just fans watching the fights. I would always want that expectation to show, but honestly, now it's a little bit different. I don't pressure myself to results or expectations for anybody that's um, outing me for that. I try to just keep it self-centered. Like, hey, I just have to show me myself that I'm able to do this. That's really where my motive comes from. Obviously, I want to make my coaches happy, so that's always a big part too. But don't let the opinions or expectations of others ahead when I'm in a fight.
Boxing can be lonely at times. The journey is deeply personal. What keeps your passion alive after all these years?
Love of the game. Yeah. I love boxing. I love what it teaches as a person and your entire life, your actual life. Um, like when it gets hard, are you gonna give up? When things are getting a little difficult, are you gonna try to step away? Are you gonna quit? I think resonates to life because it could go with anything. Like, if marriage gets hard, are you gonna quit? That has taught me the most is it's not a battle of you and your opponent, it's yourself sometimes.
Balance is in life is important for long-term success. Family can keep us grounded. How do you balance boxing and personal life?
It's hard. It's hard, but I balance it just being able to work around my schedule. Right now I do have a job, but I have a lot of freedom in schedule. So I work around that and I try to do my more sessions, my training before 5 p.m., before it gets dark or late. And that way I can enjoy family, uh, my fiance, friends. But in the weekend, I do like to do mornings. Morning, that's where I train. That's where I can just give my complete focus to body training. And that way, once the rest, I enjoy myself because at the end of the day, you want to compete, you want to box. You have to be disciplined, but also give time to yourself. You know, do things that you enjoy from boxing, whether it's, you want to go play games, you want to go, whatever it is, because life is short and like you do have to do what you enjoy.
Boxing the athlete. There is also a person. People love hearing that side too. How has boxing changed you as a man?
Uh, Man, it changed me. It's made me into who I am now, and or a few big things actually, because there's a lot. I mean, it's completely shaped who I am. But I would say it's a lot of my mental toughness. Mental toughness is a major thing. Like we were talking earlier, things get tough. How do you? And that's one thing that boxing has shown me about myself. It's grown me into somebody who's tough, but also it's also made me somebody you respect. You respect the game, you respect what life gives you too, and also um, it just made me an overall, I want to say, better person, just because I can I can be okay with results. I can be okay with however the day goes. Um, but at the end of the day, if you're a good person, I mean, the world's gonna repay you, and that's really how I see boxing too. I don't need to be a bad person or uh, you know to show off anything like that. I just I respect the game. I treat people good, and I just see it as like something great. People think boxing is, oh, you're only fighting, you're just trying to hurt each other, but it's much deeper than that. It's more of a, like I said, a battle within yourself. It makes you a better person, makes you a tougher person.
Finally turned on the light. We were bombed by Russia, so there was no light. We are at war now.
Oh wow.
Thank you for giving me an interview. It inspires me.
Oh man, thank you. I sorry to hear that, man. I do pray for you guys. I pray for you and your country. Um, I know it's a lot of things going on right now. I'm privileged that I don't live through that right now. I'm here in America where, I mean, we live, I want to say, a comfortable life compared to other places in the world. So man, I didn't know that was happening, but I do pray for you and your country, your family, everybody there. I hope everything does get fixed. I hope everybody is gonna be well. But yeah, no, thank you for taking your time. I know that it's hard to be interviewing in those circumstances, but I do really appreciate your time.
We have been at war for 4 years. It's a horror. Thank you. Thank you for support. It means a lot for me.
course, man, no problem.
By the way, who has been your biggest supporter through everything?
I mean, it's hard to say one because I have a lot of people supporting, but uh, I would say my fiance of she's my partner in crime, my number one supporter. She's been there through thick and thin when it gets tough, when things are great. She's always there, and it's really hard to find somebody like that because people only want to be there when you're winning. People only want to be there when things are nice, when they're great. But who's there when it gets tough? Who's there when you're struggling? Who's there when uh, your doubts kick in? And it's always been her from when I first met her. So she's definitely been my number one, and yeah, I love her. I do think that when you find somebody like that, anything is possible.
Many people only see confidence, but vulnerability is part of greatness too. What what is something people uh, misunderstand about boxer?
I think a lot of people assume that every like boxers are just hard-headed. We're just going in there because we have issues and we're letting stress out. But I think it's much more than that. It's boxing is about creating a person who's going to be great in the world as well, who's going to be not only like their emotion, but the way they systematically have their form their life. Like it creates a disciplined person, it creates a tough person, and at the end of the day, it creates a person who's gonna be respectful. Like, boxing, it's a respectful sport. So that really shows who you are in the world. You're gonna be a respectful person.
What is your biggest dream in boxing?
Biggest dream, I want to win a world title. That would be one of my biggest dreams. Aside from a title, I would like to be ranked in pro boxing. I'd like to be ranked as a top 10 fighter as well. That's the dreams that I have right now.
And what kind of legacy do you want to leave?
I I would I would think that the legacy that I would want to leave behind is just showing that no matter where you come from, no matter what you do, if you really dedicate yourself to what you envision in succeeding, if you put the time, if you put the effort, that it's possible. Even when you come up short of anything, when you push yourself to the limit and you try to get the best out of you, that's the legacy I want to leave. I want to leave the legacy of knowing that if you trust in yourself, you can succeed at anything.
Fans love seeing the human side of champions. Small details reveal a lot. What does a perfect day outside the ring look like for you?
Perfect day. I I would say, I would say just being with your loved ones. That's a perfect day to me. I feel like when you put that time with the people that you love and are around you, um, you're able to really enjoy what you have. Because a lot of people, I realize now now in the world, it's all about who you like, what you have, and what kind of lifestyle you're living. But the human part of me is, I don't need that. I enjoy just being with the people that I love and doing whatever it is we're gonna do, but as long as they're there and we're able to have a good time.
And life outside boxing also matters. Recovery and happiness matter too. How do you relax and reset after intense fight?
So for sure, I mean, I gotta always stretch, always make sure that you're doing some type of uh, I would say like yoga or more something that's gonna deep stretch the your muscle tissues. But aside from that, just I would say go see somebody like a massage or if it's not a major injury, go get a massage. But my recovery is just in the rest and good rest. It doesn't mean that I'm gonna do nothing. To me, rest is still doing something light. Like go, even if you don't hit the bag at the gym, you can shadow box. There's no way you get injured from shadow boxing. Um, but my recovery is always with still doing something, not just laying down and you know thinking that's recovering. Like no, we still have to be active.
You are wearing a championship shirt now. Cool
Yeah,
t-shirt.
yeah.
Send
Thank you.
it to me by parcel. By the way, what moment in your career made you feel most proud? This moment, 2025 International Boxing Championships.
I would say that that was a big moment because I had made the promise to my coach that I was going to perform. I was going to perform the way that we train because that's a big thing. A lot of fighters can get starstruck or they get when the lights turn on, their skill sets, all their IQ goes out the window. And for me, I wanted to prove that we worked so hard and my preparation was so great that I wanted to actually show that in the fight. So when I was able to do that and win, it felt great because I proved to myself that hey, I did all of this for this result. Like I followed with my plan, and when you follow with your plan, it feels greater than anything. It wasn't luck, it wasn't um because you know I just got help or anything. No, like it was all me and the hard work I put in.
Your story can inspire people beyond boxing. That's powerful. What message do you want people to take from your journey?
I want people to take from my journey that even when it gets tough and you want to quit sometimes or you want to doubt the doubting of yourself kicks in, just know that the future self, your future self is going to have regret, and just follow through, keep pushing even when it gets tough. Like there's always a light at the end of the tunnel, as they say. And I do believe that there's always going to be great times, but there's going to be tough times. It's part of life. There's ups and downs. Nobody's life is perfect. If it was, everybody would be happy. But just really believe in yourself and know that things get better. And the only way they get better is by you.
Champions often become examples for their communities. That responsibility matters. What does representing your community mean to you?
Oh man, it means a lot. Uh, even like yeah, it just means a lot to have like my community to represent. Um, there's a lot of great people that I've met along this journey, and they all want to see me succeed. Just it's a beautiful thing when you can fight for your community or represent them, no matter where you're at.
The journey is still being written. The best chapters may still be ahead. What do you want people to remember most about Fidel Mendes Jr.?
I want them. Well, I mean, aside from my fights, and even when I do have great fights, I want them to remember me as a person who's a great person, like who's a great human, who's actually there to be understanding and um just to represent that I'm not just a fighter. I'm a person who likes to be with people, with friends, with my family, and I face the same struggles as any other person. That's one thing I do want them to know is that everybody's special in their own way. And for me, it happens to be boxing. I happen to have a talent in this sport, but I want them to see beyond that. That I'm a great person and that I do enjoy uh, the human part of myself, like just being there with anybody, all my loved ones.
Fidel, something else about your profile really caught my attention. Beyond boxing, I noticed
Mhm.
your love for sports goes even further, especially your passion for soccer. Since
Yeah.
the FIFA World Cup in 2026 will be happening here in the United States. I'd love to ask a few fun questions about that too. It's exciting that the World Cup is coming to the USA. That's going to be a huge moment for sports fans anywhere. The energy, the atmosphere, and the pride behind it will be incredible. How excited are you for the 2026 FIFA World Cup in the United States?
Oh man, it's exciting. Hopefully not too much here. Hopefully we don't have any games here because traffic, is gonna get really bad. But I'm excited because when the Cup comes around, it's a different vibe. It creates like it makes it feel like a summer. It makes it feel like a fun. And it being here in the States, one of my goals is to go see a match. Whether if I have to, travel for a little bit or whatever the case is, but I would like to see a match. It's going to be cool seeing it here in the United States for the first time in my lifetime. Uh, just because every time I watch, I mean, the last few Brazil, South Africa, those are all nice. They're all cool. But this one's going to be different for me.
Which national team will you be supporting the most during the World Cup?
I got to go Mexico. Mexico 100%.
Maybe Portugal, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Hey, if they make it through and Mexico doesn't happen to be there, I'm taking Portugal as well.
Wow. And do you have a favorite soccer player or someone who has means that you respect right now?
Currently, soccer player currently that I enjoy watching or respect. Let me see. I have a few that I really enjoy watching, but I would say
Maybe
I would say like
Mbappe, Haaland.
Mbappe is good. Holland is for sure. Well, I forgot about Holland, but he's definitely one of them. I mean, just no, he's a different type of beast. And not only that, but you see, he's a good person. Like when I see somebody that's that good and that humble, oh man, I really respect him. So that's a good one, Holland. I actually like that one for sure.
The World Cup in the USA will be more than just football. It's be a cultural moment. It's something people will remember for years. What do you think? Hosting the World Cup in the United States will mean for sports and young athletes?
I think it would mean a lot because, as we know, football or soccer is not that big here in the U.S. compared to other countries. You know, like in Brazil, soccer lives in Brazil. Like if everybody there knows soccer, a lot of great athletes in that sport come from other countries like that. and I think it's gonna motivate a lot of our young athletes here to pursue that sport. Once they see what that there's a lot of fans, it's a global sport, number one sport in the world. I think that it would definitely motivate a lot of the youth here to pursue soccer.
And last question. Who do you think is the best Brazilian footballer in history? Pelé, Ronaldo, Neymar, Ronaldinho? Who is?
I would say Ronaldo. I mean, a lot of people might disagree and say Pelé, but I honestly like just from what I've seen, I think Ronaldo was different. He was very special, and that would be my pick.
I agree with you. Ronaldo had the best technique, in my opinion.
Yeah, man, everything, free kicks, everything.
Thank you so much for this interview. Fidel, thank you so much. This is honest and inspiring conversation. It was truly a pleasure getting to hear your story, your great story. Not just about the titles and victories, but about the discipline, motivation, routine, training, sacrifices, and mindset behind them. Your journey is a real example of what hard work and belief can achieve. I am sure your story will motivate a lot of peoples. Wishing you even more success, bigger victories, and all the best in everything ahead. And I wish you to become Olympic gold medalist.
Oh man, thank you. I appreciate that, man. It means a lot. I do really expect a lot from myself, and I appreciate that you're took your time to interview me and you know give me the platform to show that my journey, my journey, and hopefully people can see it and push themselves and really, believe in themselves.
Fidel, stay in touch and good luck.
Of course, Andre, thank you. I will stay in touch for sure.
Goodbye, my friend.
Goodbye, brother. Have a good one.